The most painful deaths while attempting a world record. Alright, so nobody yet has died attempting to be me, the world's realest nigga. Thank God. I still have the world record, so let's get into this.
Skydiving group jump record attempt. Diana
Skydiving group jump record attempt?
Paris was an experienced German skydiver with more than 1,500 successful
Yo, why is it whenever these clips start, they always start with blah blah blah, was an experienced, like, damn, it's always experienced ones.
jumps to her
I
name.
mean, that makes sense if you keep doing it, if you can keep doing it, you keep doing it, then eventually, you know?
On April
You're not
3rd,
gonna keep rolling up 4, 5, 6. All right, I'm done talking.
2014, she joined a group of 222 skydivers in
Damn.
Eloy, Arizona, attempting to set a world record for the largest dual formation jump. The challenge required 2 separate formations during a single free fall, a feat that demanded precision, timing, and flawless equipment. At 18,000 feet, Diana and the other jumpers exited their aircraft. The sky filled with bodies as they maneuvered into their first formation. Everything proceeded according to plan until it was time to break away and deploy parachutes. Diana pulled her ripcord at approximately 3,500 feet, but something went catastrophically wrong. Her main parachute didn't deploy properly. Witnesses later said it appeared to come out twisted, creating what skydivers call a line twist. In normal
No, they have names for these? So that means, like, that's just normal? Please tell me there's a way to, like...
circumstances, a skydiver has time to cut away from a malfunctioning main chute and deploy their reserve. But Diana had waited too long. By the time she realized her main parachute had failed, she was below 2,000 feet, the minimum safe altitude for a reserve deployment. The ground was rushing toward her at terminal velocity, approximately 120 miles per hour. Diana likely knew what was happening. She had just seconds to process that her vast experience couldn't save her. Other skydivers watched helplessly as she fell away from the group, her body tumbling without the stability a functioning parachute provides. The impact...
Bro, how was she only going 120 miles per hour? Are we estimating? Because that sounds so... Like, I'm thinking, like, 180 minimum. Like, 180 minimum. Damn. Oh, shit.
Ability a functioning parachute provides. The impact occurred in an open field near the drop zone. The force was catastrophic. Medical examiners later determined that Diana died instantly from multiple blunt force traumas. Her body created a shallow crater in the earth. The parachute...
Like, duh, like, not to be rude, like, what do you mean, like, you didn't have to tell us that, nigga, we know.
She had relied on more than 1,000 times before lay partially deployed beside her. Diana Paris became the record attempt's only casualty. The group later completed their world record jump with 221 people instead of 222, dedicating the achievement to the woman who fell to Earth. Salt Flats speed record attempt. Chris Rashke.
Wait. Yo, these guys have no fear. This woman just died doing this, and you guys said, fuck, man. Let's go back up and do it for her.
Was a 63-year-old veteran speed racer with decades of experience chasing land speed records. On August 9, 2014, he arrived at the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah, a vast white expanse where the perfectly flat surface has made it the premier location for speed record attempts since 1914. Rashke's modified dragster was capable...
Wait, what year is this? 1976? He's speed racing a car on ice? I'm so confused.
...of exceeding 350 miles per hour.
On ice?
First required test runs to ensure everything was functioning properly. The morning was clear, with ideal conditions. Rashke suited up, strapping himself tightly into the cockpit of his streamlined vehicle. He was performing a warm-up pass, not even attempting his maximum speed yet. Witnesses said the car appeared stable as it accelerated across the salt, its engine roaring in the thin desert air. At the end of the course was
in the desert. All right, yo, animator. Are we in the snow or are we in the... Okay, we're in the desert. Okay. So what is this white stuff? Is this cement? Or is this concrete?
Ramp designed to slow vehicles down safely after their runs. As Rashke approached at approximately 280 miles per hour, something went critically wrong. Instead of gradually mounting the ramp, his vehicle became airborne. The front end pitched upward suddenly, causing the dragster to impact the top edge of the ramp rather than rolling up it.
Oh, and then he's gonna flip over probably.
The collision was violent beyond description. The carbon fiber frame of the vehicle disintegrated on impact. Parts of the car were torn away instantly, scattering across the white salt in a trail nearly 100 yards long. Inside the cockpit, Rashke experienced deceleration forces that the human body cannot withstand. First responders reached the scene within minutes, but found Rashke had suffered catastrophic internal trauma. His aorta had been torn from his heart by the sudden deceleration. Blood filled his chest cavity almost instantly. Medical experts later explained that even with immediate medical attention, survival would have been impossible.
Duh, you said the fucking cable cord to his heart plugged out.
Rashke was still strapped to what remained of his seat, his hands frozen on the wheel. The safety equipment that had protected him in dozens of previous runs was no match for the physics of a 280 miles per hour impact. Round
the World Cycling Quest.
World Cycling Quest. Juan Francisco Guillermo was a 47-year-old Chilean cyclist with an extraordinary ambition. In 2010, he set out to cycle 250,000 kilometers across 5 continents in 5 years, a journey that would secure him a place in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Damn, who was he trying to be, Terry Fox?
2015, he had already pedaled through the Americas, Australia, and parts of Asia, documenting every kilometer of his grueling quest. On February 21, 2015, Guillermo was cycling along Highway 3 in Thailand's northeastern Nakhon Ratchasima province.
Alright, now we're just naming shit.
He was accompanied by his wife and 2-year-old son, who followed.
Wait, what? Oh. I jumped the gun too fast. I know, we do that a lot here. I just thought the babies was going to be on the bike too with this guy. I'm about to say, what the fuck?
In a support vehicle as they had done for thousands of kilometers. The weather.
Damn, so he just has his family wasting gas following his ass. You might as well give her a bike and get the baby a bike and tell them keep up.
And 2-year-old son, who followed in a support.
He's 2, he should keep up.
Vehicle as they had done for thousands of kilometers. The weather was clear, visibility was good, and Guillermo was in his own lane, following all traffic rules. At approximately 11:50 a.m., a white pickup truck approached from behind. Witnesses later reported that the vehicle was traveling at high speed and appeared to swerve slightly. In an instant, the truck veered into Guillermo's lane. The driver had no time to brake. Guillermo had no time to react. The impact was catastrophic. The front bumper of the pickup struck Guillermo from behind at approximately 60 miles per hour. His carbon fiber bicycle shattered on contact. The force launched him forward onto the asphalt surface of the highway. His helmet cracked on impact, offering minimal protection against such extreme force. Medical examiners later determined that Guillermo suffered immediate and severe cervical spine fractures. The trauma
Bro. Now my question is, how far behind was his wife driving to the point where somebody else could go behind her husband? My second question is, who's videotaping him for proof of this Guinness World Record? Where is the Guinness World Records company team? You trying to say that come watch? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, are they in the car with the wife?
His.
But damn, that's fucked up though. I guess that's why they're making so much bike lanes these days. But you know what's crazy? He was probably in a one-way lane. Like, you know where you're on those, like, mountains, and there's, like, one lane, like, coming this way and that way? And then the guy was probably like, yo, bro, let me go around you, you know? Like, I do that shit, too, as soul drivers. I go around them on a one-way. But, like, I make sure that, you know? So he probably did that, didn't see the bike, and then, boom, hit him. R.I.P.
Vertebra, causing instant paralysis of his respiratory system. He could not breathe. His heart continued beating for approximately 90 seconds after the impact, but without oxygen, brain death was inevitable. Guillermo lay motionless on the highway as his wife rushed from the support vehicle. She reached him within seconds, but there was nothing she could do. The man who had pedaled across deserts, mountains, and through tropical storms died on an ordinary stretch of highway, just months shy of completing his 5-year journey. He had cycled 140,000 kilometers, more than halfway to his goal. Land speed record attempt. Jessie Combs was a 39-year-old professional racer and television personality known as the fastest woman on 4 wheels. On August 27, 2019, she arrived at Oregon's Alvord Desert.
What? The fastest woman on 4 wheels. So wouldn't she just be the world's fastest woman driver or something like the women's fastest driver? Like, can we just say that? The women's fastest, the women's fastest driver.
A 12-mile dry lake bed perfect for land speed record attempts. Her vehicle was the North American
Eagle.
What
the fuck is this? Not a car, that's a jet, nigga.
A converted F-104 jet fighter with 52,000 horsepower, capable of
What? 4 wheels? Oh, I mean, they didn't say 4 wheels, they said wheels.
600 miles per hour. The conditions were nearly perfect that morning. The desert surface was flat and dry, with light winds and clear visibility. Combs completed her first run without incident,
There's no way she's driving a jet, right? She's flying it, right?
reaching speeds over 500 miles per hour. Her team was optimistic about breaking the women's land speed record of 512 miles per hour set by Kitty O'Neill in 1976.
Oh my gosh, so we're here in 2025, allegedly, because I didn't see when this took place. Trying to beat a 1976 record at 4 o'clock p.m. That should have been broken in 2010.
Approximately 4 p.m., Combs began her second run. The North American Eagle accelerated rapidly, its jet engine propelling her across the desert floor. According to telemetry data recovered later, she reached a speed of approximately 550 miles per hour. But at that velocity, even the smallest obstacle becomes catastrophic. The front left wheel of the vehicle struck an object in the desert, possibly a rock no larger than a golf ball. At such extreme speed, the impact was violent. The wheel assembly collapsed immediately, causing the vehicle to veer slightly left. Within a fraction of a second, Combs lost directional control. The aerodynamic forces at 550 miles per hour tore at the vehicle's structure. The North American Eagle began to disintegrate. The chassis broke apart and fire erupted as fuel lines ruptured. Inside the cockpit, Combs experienced extreme G-forces as the vehicle tumbled. Medical examiners later determined that she died from blunt force trauma to her head before the fire reached the cockpit. The impact was so severe that death was instantaneous. When her team reached the crash site, the wreckage was scattered across nearly half a mile of desert. The fire had consumed most of the vehicle. Data recovered from the onboard computers confirmed her speed at 522.783 miles per hour, posthumously earning Jessie Combs the title of fastest woman on land. Wingsuit-based jump attempt.
I don't even want to. Alright, bro, fuck it. Niggas think we're playing Call of Duty?
Dwayne Weston was a 34-year-old Australian extreme athlete known for pushing the boundaries of base jumping and wingsuit flying. By October 2003, he had completed more than 1,200 jumps and developed a reputation for performing
I'm not gonna lie to you.
others.
If I could wingsuit glide, knowing that I'm going to live, I will do it. That shit is actually cool. Or that's
Considered
cool.
impossible.
Nah, that's cool. That's cool.
On October 5th, he planned his most daring feat yet, flying over the Royal Gorge Bridge in Colorado while wearing a wingsuit. The Royal Gorge Bridge stands 955 feet above the Arkansas River, making it one of the highest bridges in the world. Weston's plan was to jump from an aircraft at 3,000 feet above the bridge, then use his wingsuit to fly over the structure while another jumper passed underneath. The stunt required split-second timing and perfect judgment of distance and speed. At 2:15 p.m., Weston leapt from the aircraft. He deployed his wingsuit, the fabric membranes between his arms and legs catching air and allowing him to glide forward at approximately 120 miles per hour. From the bridge below, spectators watched as he approached, a tiny figure against the blue Colorado sky.
Why do I feel like I've seen this video? I feel like I've seen this video.
The jumper successfully passed under the bridge, but
this was in 03 though. But it must have been trending back when, like 03, when 03 was around, I was like, what, 18?
a tiny figure against the blue Colorado sky. The other jumper successfully passed under the bridge, but Weston miscalculated. Perhaps it was a sudden gust of wind, or a slight error in judging his altitude. Whatever the cause, Weston was too low as he approached. He struck the railing on the western edge of the bridge with devastating force. The impact was so violent that his right leg was immediately severed above the knee. The collision sent him spinning out of control.
Above the knee? Ooh. You know, that hurts. Like, it's gonna hurt regardless, but if it was like his below the knee, I would have been like, ow. But above the knee, oof.
His parachute deployed automatically due to the impact, but it was too late. Weston tumbled down into the gorge, trailing blood through the air. He struck a rock face approximately 300 feet below the bridge. First responders rappelled down to reach him, but what they found was beyond help. The femoral artery in his severed leg had caused rapid blood loss. Medical examiners estimated he lived for approximately 30 seconds after the impact, likely conscious and aware as he bled out. Weston's heart stopped before rescuers could reach him. Zipwire by hair stunt.
Damn.
Sailendra.
Nah, bro. If that happens to me, God forbid, I need that instantly. What the fuck?
Nath Roy was a 49-year-old Indian stuntman who had built a reputation for unusual feats of endurance. On April 28, 2013, he attempted to cross the turbulent Teesta River in West Bengal, India, using only his hair as support. Roy had already set a Guinness World Record in
what? Hair support?
2011 for traveling the farthest distance on a zip line, using his hair, covering 82.5
Using his hair on a zip line? Am I hearing shit properly?
meters. This time, he aimed to break his own record by crossing 180 meters. Roy's technique involved tying his ponytail to a steel pulley that would slide along the zip wire. He had grown and strengthened his hair specifically for these stunts. At approximately 2:30 p.m., with hundreds of spectators watching from the riverbanks and the Coronation Bridge above, Roy began his journey across the gorge. For the first 70 meters, everything proceeded as planned. Roy slid forward, suspended 70 feet above the rushing water by nothing but his hair. Then, without warning, the pulley jammed on the wire. Roy came to an abrupt halt, dangling helplessly above the river. Witnesses described seeing him struggle desperately to free himself. He tried to reach up to the wire, but couldn't lift his body weight with his arms alone. Each movement caused excruciating pain as his entire body weight pulled against the hair follicles of his scalp.
Oh, now your body weight pulling against your hair hurts.
For several minutes, he continued to struggle, his movements becoming increasingly frantic. After approximately 20 minutes, Roy stopped moving. Some spectators were still applauding, unaware that what they were watching was no longer a stunt, but a man fighting for his life.
Wait, how did he die?
There was no safety net below, no rescue team standing by. Roy hung motionless, suspended only by...
Nigga, this is India. You think they have time for your foolishness in India? They're dealing with bigger shit down there. Like,
his hair. By the time emergency personnel arrived and managed to reach him, nearly 45 minutes had passed. They found Roy unconscious, his scalp severely traumatized from the sustained tension. Medical examiners later determined he had suffered a massive heart attack brought on by the extreme stress and pain. His cardiac arrest occurred while he was still suspended, his body giving out after enduring what doctors described as extraordinary pain thresholds.
I don't get it, though. I don't get it, because, look, listen. He went from point A to point B, right? Or A square, right? Went from here to here. Then it got stuck, right? It got stuck, started panicking. But how did he die, though? Like, because it's like, bro, you were planning on going from A to Z off the screen. So it's like, maybe you just panicked to death.